Hi, my name is Teresa Reiner. I'm working on Module 15 with the 5 new technologies. And the first one that I'm going to talk about is EasyBib. It is a citing website. My daughter's in high school and she uses this all the time and showed it to me, and I use it as well in some of my master's classes where I'm needing to cite things. It has a couple of options, check your paper or create citations, and so those are things that you can do. I did want to point out that it is free if you use the basic service, but if you want to get their plus version, which does more than that, there is an expense for that. And this kind of breaks it down. 20 suggestions on the grammar check and everything, and then on the citations it's MLA only. You can't do like APA, for instance, on that. So, and then there's ads on it. So the basic version is limited. Okay, if you go to check your paper, you can cut and paste your paper in and or anything that you're writing, and it will, or you can import it. If it's on your computer, it's on your Google Drive. You can check for grammar and writing style errors or accidental or intentional plagiarism. So that is one thing that you can do. That's not the main thing on this site, but that is a service that you can do. The citing, creating your citations is what I was basically going to show. And so something that I wanted to also show is that nope, that's not on that page yet. Okay, so again, you can only do MLA. When you click on the source type, there are so many different things that you can cite. So that's really good that you're not limited there. So I'm just going to pick book. And in one of my classes, I had done some research on mental health in young children. And so one of the books that I had looked up, I just put the title right there, and then I push cite. And then before I continue, it shows here the author and the date, and that is the correct one. But before I hit cite, I wanted to show some things that I think that as we are teaching children, that we need to get them thinking about sources credibility. And so that brings up the ITSE standards. The ones that I'm going to use today are 3C, mentoring students in safe, legal, and ethical practices with digital tools and the protection of intellectual rights and property. And then the other one that I wanted to use is 6A, foster a culture where students take ownership of their learning goals and outcomes in both independent and group settings. So students need to learn these things, and as their education continues, this is something they're going to have to do. And so I really like that we could use this even just as an education point for kids to come and have them start learning about credibility. When they're looking at an author. Has the author written several things, or is this the only thing they've ever written? Could we contact the author if we wanted to? And then about the publisher. Is it a well-respected publisher? Is there bias? That's something that students need to think about. Is there purpose? We talk a lot about that when I teach 4th grade. We talk about author's purpose: inform, entertain. And then this one, is it there to spread an agenda? Do they have a conflict of interest there? And there's just lots and lots of questions here that I think is really good that we continue to talk to students about, so that they are understanding about credibility and not the fact that everything out there is not great. and can be used, and that we have to question what we're using. All right, so once you see that, yes, in fact, this is the author that I want, then I push Cite, and it says this is the book title, this is the publisher, this is the year, and so if all of that is still correct, and again, it's the student's responsibility to be checking this kind of stuff and making sure that that is their title. Then it will cite it. You can cite the whole book. You can cite just chapters or sections or just pieces of it, but I'm going to be citing the whole book. It lists the author there. If there were additional authors, then they can add here and add that in. Lists the title. If it was like a magazine or something, then there'd be more information that I could put in. And so then you push complete citation, and then it will come up, and then you have your citation. And you can take that and you can copy it, and you can put that into your paper. So that is the Cite. That's my technology, and the audience would be students, anybody that is, it can be a non-traditional student or just students, and just teach them how to be ethical in their learning to write.